Oh, I can't do it. Hi there guys and girls, Dave here from Player TV. Hope you're doing well. Today I'm here with a review of this P35 case and these 4 fans and fan controller here from a company called Sahara. Let's take a look. Okay, so we'll start with a quick look around the case. Now we have the tempered glass side panel, which is a bit smoked, as you can see. So I'm just going to carefully put that on the floor. So now we've got that off, you can definitely see inside the case a bit better here. Now we have a power supply or cover, full length cover in the bottom of the case here. It's got 3 mounts for 120mm fans. Screws and stuff are provided as well, so you can mount those. It's also mounts to mount a couple of hard drives down here by the looks of it, or sorry, just one. So there's one mount here to mount a 3.5-inch drive by the looks of things. There's also 3 holes here. That's for cable management as well, so you can route the cables up through the bottom of the shroud there. Full size ATX motherboard support, as well as obviously MATX, ITX, etc. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rubber grommets, and that's just to hide the cables a little bit better behind the back of the case here. I've also pre-installed 4 of the fans provided by Sahara. And I just did that off camera, but the case won't come with any, so it's up to you to install them yourself however you like. That's pretty much it on the front. As you can see, we've got the reflective smoked front panel, and that's tempered glass as well. To remove that, you simply just pull it away from the bottom. It's nice and tough, as you can see. I'm kind of struggling to get it off. I'm not going to remove it, and that's just to get access to install the fans on the front here. I'll spin it back round so you can see the back. Lots of options to mount the 120mm fan higher or lower there. That's the IO cutout. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 PCI slots there. This cover here is removable so that you get access to the screws and stuff, so it's kind of a nice addition to keep it all nice, clean and tidy. Here in the bottom, and then obviously is the power supply mount. I'll take you round to the back side of the case. Here we go, where I've obviously, like I said, I've pre-installed the fan controller and things. I've just mashed all the cables down here out of the way. But obviously you route them and stuff into the appropriate areas, maybe through the bottom here, etc. I've also pre-installed the fan controller here, and just kind of routed cables as best I could around. You with the fan controller, you do get the IR, the remote control infrared adapter, so it's probably best to kind of put that maybe in the top and stuff so that you can see it from the other side. Just options. The power for that is a Molex, which is a bit of a shame. I would have liked to have maybe seen that to be a SATA connector or some SATA power connector instead, but it is what it is. All the fans that are provided by Sahara, should you choose those, are all just a straight up 6-pin single cable, which I quite like. It's definitely different, but you don't have like 2 or 3 or different cables that you've got to kind of plug into different boxes everywhere, like from other manufacturers, let's say. So that's pretty cool. I'll talk about the box and fans a little bit later anyway. Carrying on with the case, big cutout for mounting you know, CPU backplates and things like that. It makes it easy to add and remove for maintenance, etc. as well. So that's good to see. In the bottom, we have two 3.5-inch hard drive sleds. 2.5-inch options, but obviously you're gonna have to screw those in. If you choose to install the 3.5-inch drives, you know, they are toolless. They do have the little knobs here, so you just obviously install nice and easy, slide it back in. Yeah, so 3.5 inch is toolless, 2.5 inch is obviously not. That's just the way it is a lot of the time. So that's that. Nice open space, and there's a little bit of room, you know, here as well in the bottom to kind of stuff some cables in there once the power supply is installed as well. So it's yeah, it's very good to see. All right, so I'm gonna stuff it full of hardware now, and then we'll take a look at the fans and things like that, and then I'll come back and talk to you about this little box as well in a little while. So as you can see, I finished putting in some hardware off camera. I haven't put in too much because I want to show you more of the features. But obviously power supply's in, I've installed and stuck the fan controller here. I've wired the RGB switch here into the reset switch. That works quite well, so that's something to take note of. I've actually taken the receiver and I've put it up and around the inside of the case, so I'll show you that in a second on the front. And that's just so that there's a remote control that you get in the box here, and that's just so that can be picked up from that as well. You do need a Molex connector to power the box here as well, so that's all just in there in the bottom out of the way. Again, I've not done super clean cable management at all, but it just goes to show that you know, you can definitely get it all in there behind the in the tray here in the back is what I'm trying to say, you know, with relative ease. So what I'm going to do, get my head out of the shot, is put this back panel back on. There you go, just to show that, yeah, it fits on perfectly. Now, spinning it round to the other side, like we can see here. I haven't actually got any hardware installed. I've literally just put enough in so that I can show you, you know, what it looks like with the motherboard inside the case and things. The motherboard's going to work, fans are going to spin and everything in a second, so I'll show you all that in a minute. But I've just put in, you know, the essentials. But as you can see, obviously, graphics card and stuff would go in there, CPU and things like that would go in there. There's space in the roof here for 120, you know, for a 240mm radiator. If you wanted to install that in the roof, you could definitely do that as well. Or just 220mm fans if you want to go down the air cooling route. Sahara have provided me 4 fans for this review, so I've installed 1 here and 3 on the front, as you can see here, just behind this this sort of smoked glass, but I'll show you that in a second. But yeah, you know, like I say, I've just installed enough to show you what it looks like, you know, when you install hardware into the case. Now, I do really want to show you the RGB features and stuff of the fans. Sorry, I was just moving the receiver for the remote control. I just placed it up here, sticking out the side of the motherboard. I accidentally just turned it on. You know, and that's just so that, you know, you could just it can actually be picked up by the remote. Well, now that it's on, you can't even hear the fan spinning at all. The fans have 2 modes, and the modes are quiet, you know, so low speed and full speed. That appears to be it. I'm just going to press the button, see if you can hear it pick up. Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys can hear that or not, but that is it at full speed. Yeah, that's probably about it. I think I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys the fans now, because you know, a pretty cool feature. So what I'm going to do is just turn them on. So there we go. I'm just going to push that, see if that'll go back a little bit more so you can see that bottom fan. It's about as far back as I can get it. Try and spin it so there's not much to reflection. Yeah, that's not too much reflection. That's pretty good. Okay, so now we have the fans on. I'm just going to flick through the modes. So you turn it on, it just comes up with the red LEDs. Green. Dark blue. Yellow. It's more of a sort of light blue or turquoisey colour. Purple. Orange. White. And that's it. So now it's just going to kind of flick through all of the features. So we have the... I'm not going to explain them all, I'm just going to show them to you. I'll shut up. Okay, so that's it. It's pretty nifty, you know, pretty nifty little feature set. I like it very much. Let's get on to the conclusion. Okay, so now we've seen everything working. I just kind of wanted to come back to the Pirate Turbo fan controller little box thing here, and just kind of give you a bit more of an up close view of it. But really, it's just kind of to explain the buttons and things like that. So you can control the fan speed, low and high, just by simply pressing the button. Again, the mode, that just controls all the different modes, the lighting options like you saw previously. The LED speeds, that also can speed up the LEDs and things like that as well. Also, it comes with the remote control, which gives you all the color options. The fact you can turn them on or off is also good. Put the fan or auto, or just adjust the fan speed yourself. LED speed just speeds up the LEDs, like I said. You can adjust the modes up and down, or there's just the whole button. So if you like it as it is, that's it. And then obviously there are some whole bunch of different modes here as well with these buttons here. So it's a pretty sort of simple affair, but I like it very much, and yeah, it's a really nice option for Sahara to include. So I just thought I'd give a little bit of a quick explanation about that as well.
So here's what I liked about the Sahara P35 case. Tempered glass on the side panel and front of the case with a smoke tint. Magnetic dust filters on the top and bottom of the case. Matte black throughout, no bare metal in sight. Full PSU and hard drive surrounding the bottom of the case. And rubber grommets were included. What I didn't like. I wasn't a fan of the style cutouts on the rear panel. There was no spare PCI brackets once the fixed ones had been removed. And no dust filters on the front intakes. So overall, the P35 seems like a pretty acceptable case with a very modest £50 asking price at the time of the review. And for that, the cost of the case will come bare with no fans or controller. What makes it more interesting is the £70 asking price, and with that you get 4 of the Pirate Turbo 120mm RGB fans and the Pirate Turbo controller box, which when you take into account the cost of the Pirate controller and fans, it suddenly becomes a lot more attractive. The Sahara P35 is very well laid out and easy to build inside of. There is also an acceptable amount of clearance in the rear panel for cable routing with relative ease. The build quality is excellent with a good mix of metals, plastics and glass, especially considering the price. I'm a fan of the choice of glass instead of acrylic. It adds to the aesthetic in a more premium manner. Looking inside the case, the PSU and hard drive shroud was another neat addition, as well as the full matte black paint job throughout. Rubber grommets and toolless hard drive mounts were another neat addition. Costs have had to be saved somewhere, however, and Sahara's choice of cutting out the PCI slots is one of those. Including 6 more PCI brackets would have been better, as once removed you're left with 6 slots and nothing to fill them with. Dust filters were also absent on the front intakes behind the glass panel. I can't imagine it would cost a lot to install some of those.
Okay, so it's on to the award, and today the Sahara P35 gets a silver award from me. Now the reason for that is that I just wasn't particularly happy with the PCI slots, just the ones you snap off. There's no covers there to replace them, and there's just the lack of the dust filter in the front of the case. So that's the reason why it gets the silver. Things I did like was the PSU shroud in the bottom, the fans and the fan controllers are fantastic. Sahara got themselves onto a winner there, most definitely. Build quality is excellent. Rubber grommets is good. Magnetic dust filters, another thumbs up from me. And yeah, it's a pretty decent case for the price. About £70 at the time of this review. So yeah, Sahara definitely onto a winner there. Anyway, I've been Dave. Thank you very much for watching, guys, as always. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.